Everybody, this episode of Mighty Car Mods is proudly brought to you by Mighty Car Mods.
Yes.
We've got an all-new discounted pack where you get a Mighty Car Mods t-shirt, you get a Mighty Car Mods hat, they're discounted, and you get a free Mighty Car Mods sticker with it. There's a thing dropping down, a link down below.
Classics.
Check it out, support the show. Martin, what are we doing?
Today we're doing some of the best mods that money can buy, the best value mods money can buy on one of the best value sports cars ever made in the world ever.
That's a very strange looking Volkswagen up there, Martin. Do you say best value sports cars ever?
Best convertible sports car ever made.
The MX... What?
Come on, dude. Work with me here.
How much
it's
was
the best
that? How much was
convertible Japanese JDM K car ever made.
I actually forgot how much of our money you spent on that. How much was that car again?
Less than the Volkswagen up.
No, how much was it?
The...
An MX-5 is cheaper, isn't it?
No, not anymore.
An old one.
No, dude, they're expensive now. Mine was $1,500. Now they're like
that was
$1,500. This was $11,000. $11,000! How much is your Volkswagen up?
The car, 7, I think.
And how much have you spent on it?
45.
Oh. Roll the thing.
Welcome to another episode of Mighty Car Mods. Today we're not spending $45,000. You shouldn't add up. You should not add up your project car costs.
We've had a robust conversation about spending money on cars. Then again, you're all here because you probably spend money on cars.
Yeah.
Good on ya. It's a fun thing to do.
And you're here and we're still here because some of you just clicked and bought the t-shirt and the hat deal, which is keeping us here.
Definitely
so
helps.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Martin, I do like your little car. Often your cars are shit. We know it and I know it. My cars are great. Yours are shit.
This car's excellent.
Who agrees? That's not true.
What are you talking about? Are good. Most important, step one, in any situation like this, is pop the top.
Okay.
We don't have to work on it.
Sounds a bit sad, doesn't it?
What do you mean?
Oh, make it stop.
What do you mean? It's happy as. It's going, roof's down, party time.
Seats we put in look good.
The seats look great.
I wouldn't normally choose that colour, and I know you wouldn't either, but they actually look pretty cool.
I did consider retrimming them because I was so just put off by the orange.
No, dude, I reckon it's okay.
It kind of works.
No, it's like wearing a white suit with brown shoes.
So I have been parts shopping. You can't really get parts for Copens in Australia. So I spoke to my good friend Rob, who's over in Japan, who we've done a bunch of fun adventures with over the years. And said, hey, Rob, can you still get stuff for the L880 Copen? He's like, hold my beer. And then a day later, he's like, there's just a catalogue of stuff you can get. And it's actually reasonably cheap, about what you'd pay for stuff in Australia, delivered to Australia. And so I have a collection of parts that I'm very excited about. Full JDM legit people.
Spoiler alert, you bought lots of stuff.
I did.
Amazing.
I bought some of a catalogue, but I also have some new wheels because, as you may have seen in a recent episode, took this to the track, thrashed it around the track, had a great time.
It's fun.
Heaps of other people like, can I have a drive? Hand them the keys, and they just didn't come back for 45 minutes. And then they're like, it's actually really good. Everyone says it like they're kind of surprised.
Yes.
Which makes sense. I mean, look at it. It looks like garlic bread. Anyway, so it had the sticky tyres and the track tyres and the really lightweight wheels. So got a little change up coming there for street duties, which is what this is being set up for now. So should we just show them the mods? What? What is it? No, what is it?
No, it's just, you should tell them.
Tell them what?
You should tell them why you're actually doing all this.
Oh, so I can chop that up.
Yeah, okay, just less. Thank you.
Of course I'm doing it to chop that up. Yeah, but I'm not chopping it in a stock car because the up's going to have more power because it's a bigger engine. And it's probably going to be really fast.
Martin, I think I saw, sorry, just a quick diversion. Volkswagen Up in Australia was like 14 grand. And I think so. And I think the Up GTI was like £12,000. How much is that?
20 grand?
20 grand?
These days, 25 maybe?
So I've spent 45 and mine's like...
It's not actually 45, is it? Surely.
Nope.
Okay. We'll have a robust conversation about that later.
I like the word robust conversation.
So do I.
Martin, can we look at the parts?
Yeah, let's get them.
So you got HKS, Martin.
I do, and I'm aware that like HKS has this mystique around it from the 90s and the early 2000s of, being hectic Japanese tuning house stuff. And the truth is they make really good stuff for these cars, but at the same time I also realise like it's dudes in a shed, isn't it?
That is like the iconic modification for Japanese cars. I remember when I had my 180SX and I had a green HKS mushroom and I just felt like I'm legit, man.
I bet it sounded good too.
I got a 180 with a mushroom. What more could you need? Most of the other 180 owners were on mushrooms, believe it or not. Anyway, it's a different story.
It always surprises me, like if you go to one of these, factories like the HKS factory and stuff, it's like they're dudes in a shed. The size of the shed changes and the quality of the tooling changes, but it's just dudes in a shed who love doing stuff for cars and they make a ton of money selling it. So good on them. But this is exciting. So this is the adjustable spring perch setup because it does have the same setup as most other Daihatsus where the shock and spring are separate, unlike what you might find in a 180 or a Subaru. Oh, that looks great.
Look at that. Little twin tip. Oh, that looks great, dude.
Yeah.
Hello. Oh,
Nicely made.
hold on. Hello. That looks great.
Adjustable. So these are the rear shocks and they are adjustable. You can just twiddle that little knob at the bottom for hard or soft and then you set your height using the adjustable spring perch seat thing. So that should go in.
Is this a catback? So I'm getting excited.
Should be...
Actually, no, it's too long to be a catback.
I think it might be
There's too
turbo
many
back,
pieces.
dude.
Because
I
we
think
got
it
that,
might be
we got
turbo
that, and whoa, that's long. And we got that. That's a big
it's gonna be
piece.
so good. We're gonna have to do a little sound test before and after, I reckon. See what it sounds like. I have a feeling it's gonna sound excellent. Or as excellent as a little tiny 4-cylinder can sound.
What's in here, Martin? This
Smart
says
spring perch.
oh, piping kit, intercooler piping kit. Let's have a little look in here. It is the, well, it's all in Japanese. Yeah, oh, dude, look at this. It's so cute.
Oh, cool.
The intercooler piping kit is a pipe and 3 silicons. That is it.
And that's where all the power comes through that little hole.
Yeah.
Dude, this is a fun way to modify your thing.
It is so fun.
Especially when it's a kind of weird beard car like this.
It is a weird
But
beard
this
car.
exists. Like, how good is it?
You got to make sure you're having fun, people. I know there's so much sincere, like, oh, I've got $1 million car, or I've got this, or I'm at the track, and I got. Just remember to have a smile. Seriously,
Yeah, man.
like, hang with your mate, hang with family, hang by yourself. Just remember to have a smile. Like, it does not have to be an Instagram competition of who's doing the craziest thing. Remember to have some fun.
I also wonder ever if I will not be excited by this.
Hang
Like
on.
a box of stuff arrives from a car that you like.
I
and
thought
it's
you
like-
meant hanging out with me.
Well, that too. Well,
Okay.
I'm getting there. Box of stuff arrives for your car that's going to make it like handle better and go better and sound better
Yeah.
and like be more fun. And then you hang out with your mates and you smash it in. Like that's...
It's Lego for adults,
It
isn't
is,
it?
it really is.
And
isn't
just
it?
fun.
It's just play. This
Yeah.
is sick. Look at that, dude.
Dude, that looks great.
It's really like chunky too. It does not feel cheap and nasty. That's a nice bit of kit.
So chunky.
And it matches the car.
Martin, what are we going to do first? I mean, the first step, of course, is jack up the car,
Put the
get
roof
the
down,
wheels
jack
off,
it up.
get the suspension out, and then back on our backs in the concrete. Why aren't we using the hoist again? Have you got a shit box in there?
Maybe. Maybe there's multiple shit boxes in there.
Yeah. Okay, good. Great. All right. What do you want to do first, mate? Let's do coilovers.
Yeah, sure.
Let's do coilovers first.
We'll yank the wheels off. Oh, should we show them the wheels?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
Have
have a
the
look.
wheels.
You might have seen him in the background anyway, but I'm very excited. It's a bit tricky to get K-car sized wheels. It's not easy, and it's easy to go too big and too wide, but that is a Sparco 15 by 7, and I think the offset's like 40 something. What is it? Plus 35, which is about as hectic as you're going to get on a car like this. So these are really nice lightweight wheels with the sticky rubber on them, but I think the 2-wheel concept on a car like this is absolutely the way to go. Got your street tyres and then you don't burn them out on the road. You go to the track, you put your sticky ones on and you get way more sessions out of them because you're not just putting random Ks on them. So that is what it's going to look like, which I'm very excited about. Shall we strip it?
Tell us more about the wheels, mate.
There's very few K cars you've ever been able to buy new in Australia, so finding wheels that suit them can be tricky. 15-inch is about as big as you'll ever see, and anything bigger than a 175 tyre is considered massive. They also need to be very lightweight, as you're dealing with a Japanese government regulated 47 kilowatts of total power output. The stud pattern is 4x100, and this particular set are fresh out of a container of JDM goodies. They are second-hand, but in excellent condition.
Test fit these wheels just to see if they actually fit, make sure the PCD is right. They actually fit better than the old ones. They're probably got a tiny bit less offset, so they poke out this way a bit more, which gets them away from all the suspension. So a tiny bit, no, I think it'll be all right. If we don't slam it, we're gonna have a good time.
First, we're going to remove the original factory strut from the front end and the shock and spring from the rear. This car has done a little over 100,000 kilometres of driving, but being a sports car, those will have been some spirited Ks. The shocks do show some signs of wear where the seals have leaked out of some of the oil, which makes them soft and the car handling feel a little bit sloppy. The rear is easy to remove with just a few 17mm nuts and bolts holding the beam axle in place. Then it all just falls out. It's important not to jack the car up from the middle of the beam axle as you can bend it and then have a bad time. I bought these shocks via Rob at Import Monster in Japan. Even though the car is nearly 20 years old, you can still order mad stuff like this directly from the manufacturers. These are the S Series, which is meant as an all-rounder rather than hard-out track suspension. With older cars like this, the simple fact that it's all new can transform the car back to how good it was the day it rolled off the showroom floor. And as parts get more rare and expensive, these actually can be pretty good bang for buck. As a bonus, they also have adjustable dampening and can be rebuilt when they do eventually wear out.
The suspension is in, now we're moving on to the exhaust. Not many mods come close when it comes to the satisfaction you get installing a shiny new exhaust, especially one made really well that fits the car without much fuss. This one's been CNC mandrel bent and precision welded, and it's made out of stainless steel, which means it should outlive the rest of the car. The old exhaust will come off with a few 14mm nuts, but first we have to get the bracing out of the way.
So this would be a lot easier on a hoist, but besides that, the bracing under here, there's a significant amount of bracing because it's convertible, because they flop around. So if you can't brace it from the top, you brace it from underneath. It's like bracing the whole way through. But the bolts that hold the bracing in also cop crap from the road, so they're all like rounded off and not happy. So I'm a bit worried about getting them out, but I have to get them out or the exhaust ain't coming off. So let's keep trying. So that's the back one, and that should now just come off entirely if you give it a good yank. Yep, there you go.
Oh. It's caught on something.
Just lift him up.
There we go. Nice. Oh, there's so much coming out of it. Manky. It's got some this is not a factory exhaust, dude.
You reckon?
Look at that.
Tape and crap all over it?
No, the welds are definitely not from the factory.
Yeah, right.
Unless that person was having a very, very bad day. I actually think what's happened is that this particular section of it has rusted out and then they've replaced it because that piece there looks different to the rest of it. And it looks like it's got... Did it sound like it had an exhaust leak?
Yeah.
It looks like it's got an exhaust leak.
Well, let's smash the new one in.
Did we mention yet that when it was released in Australia, this Copen would have cost you the equivalent of $50,000? Absolute madness. And for the same money in 2003, you could have got a 4th gen Volkswagen Golf, a top-of-the-line V6 Camry, or a naturally aspirated Subaru Impreza. How boring. But aren't we glad the original owner didn't buy any of those yawn buckets and instead got this? Otherwise, we wouldn't be smashing these excellent mods onto this mad little car.
Pipes are all on. They look excellent. The quality is so good. The welds are nice. It sits in the right spot. You literally put the mounts on, square up the flanges, and the whole exhaust just sits exactly where it's supposed to sit. Nothing bangs on it. Can move around. Just so good.
Do you know what, Martin? You could almost say, we give it the Mighty Car Mods thumbs up of approval. Do we tell everyone about that?
We have told that story at least.
Maybe we have told you that story. That was like when we first started Mighty Car Mods and someone said they'd give us a free bottle of car wash as long as we used it and then said on screen, we give this the Mighty Car Mods thumbs up of approval. Anyway, we told that person. Coilovers are in. Fit was absolute perfection. How'd you go with the exhaust, mate?
Perfect. The exhaust looks excellent. The welds are great. It just bolts straight up. Bit of a hassle to do on your back because of all the bracing and stuff that's under there, but really, 6 bolts, new exhaust.
Why is the old exhaust so rusty and so homemade in sections?
I reckon repaired. Maybe it was a beach car. I mean, it's convertible. Maybe someone lived at the beach with it and it just sat there and rusted.
I was just thinking, before we start on the front, you know how it had all those little dot around the headlights? That's got to go in the bin, right?
Absolutely.
Remove it or just like take the wiring out?
At least take the wiring out. If we can actually unpeel it from the headlight, then it has to go as well.
Yeah, but someone's actually installed it inside the headlight?
They've stuck it to the outside, like around the very edge of the headlight, and then wired into the Parker. So into the Parker, and you've got this weird blue LED angel eye thing.
It's not good.
Terrible.
All right, we'll get rid of that. And then what, intercooler piping next?
Intercooler piping next. I have got an intercooler on order, so that will probably just happen later. It just is a factory replacement, but a little bit bigger. But the piping is the main one to get rid of sort of the old crusty rubber that's gone all hard and has the crappy clips, so it just replaces all of that. And then we'll be able to test fit our wheels and do a few other sweet little changes just to make it look that bit better.
Excellent. Let's rip the front bar off, mate, and get into it. Look how small the intercooler is.
Oh, dude.
Oh, it's so high pitched.
It's really high pitched. It's a proper front mount though, isn't it?
It's a miniature front mount. Look at it go. So what are we doing? We're swapping
Well, we're
that.
getting rid of this too, I think, for our intake.
And this?
Yeah, so that piping and that, and there must be a pipe behind it, this one, whatever it is, and then that's got to come off too. So we just start disconnecting all that, I reckon.
But where's the other pipe?
I think the turbo's in the front, so it probably just feeds it from directly behind it. Pretty cool.
Little.
Pretty cool.
Can you swap front mounts, or do you not need to?
I ordered
it's
one.
thick actually for how small it is. It's got girth. It's like that.
HKS make a replacement that bolts in, which I'll chuck in later when it gets here, but that's like a special order thing.
Okay.
A couple $100.
Expensive for its size.
I guess for its size, but I mean, it's also, if there was room and you didn't mind hacking all this up, you could put a front mount in, because the ones in Malaysia had front mounts.
Yeah.
But also they had no aircon and they had none of this like nice stuff. So I'm happy to stay with this. It'd be good.
How do you feel about the general purity of like messing with a car like this? Do any of the weird beards care?
I don't think this is collectible enough.
No.
You know, there's some that are real special, old cars, whatever, but this is like, it's a Copen. Plus, Copen with HKS, nice fruit on it is.
Oh, it's good. Oh, dude, I'm all for it. I'm just wondering how many weird beards out there were like, you can't change it.
None. Zero weird beards, man.
According to the dictionary, a weird beard is someone who takes an overly confrontational position on the modifications that someone else does to their own car, usually via the internet. Oftentimes they don't own that kind of car, or if they have, it's unmodified because they don't want to mess with the purity. A weird beard doesn't necessarily have a beard of their own either, but the term still applies. All right, so we just pulled out a coil and a spark plug and it was covered in oil, so that's could be a couple of reasons why, Martin, couldn't it?
Usually rocker covers, especially if it's hard to get to.
Yeah.
Which that is a little bit.
And it was particularly when it was covered with all of this like valve stuff and returns and all of this mess.
And this is going in the bin, by the way, because it's old and cracked and we can't really recycle it. And it's just the blower valve. So we can go dose style. We might install another one later on when we do intercooler stuff, but for now I'm just going to delete that.
Yeah.
And it'll still do its rocker cover breathery stuff without this.
Yeah, I mean, in an ideal world though, we would clean all of this up, do the gaskets, do the spark plugs, but we can't get all of that stuff right now. So we're just going to continue on with the intercooler piping kit and the intake. We've ordered all of this stuff now though, so if it gets here in time, obviously we'll stick it in. Otherwise, we're just going to have a little dessert with it later and just clean that stuff up. But for now, we'll continue on with the mushroom intake. Is that the intake is just the mushroom?
Yes.
There's no actual intake, it's just a mushroom.
I think you get like a little pipe or something, but yeah, it replaces this, so we've got to get that stock intake off, which
Dude,
is
I cannot wait to hear what this sounds like. I'm so excited.
It's going to be ridiculous.
The Copen engine bay is so tiny they put all this stuff in front of the radiator support. It's very neat packaging, but it doesn't give you much room to move. The old air filter box is coming out and going into a purity box, then we can get the intercooler off to check that it's clean and make sure it's working properly using our tried and tested intercooler testing method.
That was good.
Yeah, we should do pipes.
Pipes?
Yep, pipes.
Let's do it. Our testing method for the pipes is not PG rated, but just take it from us, these pipes will work great with a little bit of lubricant and some gentle force. No instructions required. No, really, after this many K shitboxes, he really shouldn't read instructions. The pipes get the boost from the turbo to the intercooler and into the throttle, and our factory blow-off valve delete should make for some excellent flutter. For some reason, I'm not sure exactly why, Marty wants to remove these really cool lights off his headlights here. And so, oh, there we go, mate. That's a quick anti-mod.
Did you get rid of them?
Yeah.
There's still some up there.
No, they're not.
Make it go away.
No, they're all gone.
It's cute, I guess. Isn't it?
Cute.
Isn't it? Is that why they're on there? Because
do we make cute cars, Martin?
I don't know. I hope not.
I hope not. He says working on a Copen.
Hey,
this is a cute car.
this is a track weapon.
No, come
Dude,
on, mate.
Track weapon compared to your up. Your up's cool, but this is more of a weapon than your up.
Do you remember the time there was all of this talk about whether a Daihatsu Kyoro would be faster than the up or not, and then we just went to the track and in my completely stock up just smashed it.
Oh yeah, you did smoke the Kyoro, didn't you?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
And James, our camera guy, was all Devo because he bet me that there's no way it would beat it.
Yeah,
and then I beat it.
But then he said something like, "Oh, if I was driving, I would have won."
He did say that.
Yeah.
He can drive pretty well, actually.
Yeah,
he got
can.
good
He's
lap
fast.
times over in Malaysia.
Yeah, he was in Malaysia driving fast.
He was driving fast.
Yep.
But he seems to think that Daihatsus are the be-all and end-all.
Yeah, I don't know why you would ever think that.
And
I don't think that.
we all
except I
know
do.
on this channel we're all about four-wheel drives and Volkswagen ups.
And V8 Utes.
V8 Utes, what?
I don't know, aren't we? Are we about them as well?
Oh, no, we're not doing that anymore.
Okay.
Apparently that car got repossessed. It turned out it was stolen.
Really?
Yep. So we've got a freed up a parking spot, mate.
Fantastic. You know what else is fantastic? This kit. Look at it. So cute. Look at it works. Look at it. Mad front out. This is known as the intercooler milkshake. Swirl it around with some contact cleaner, which will dry out, and we'll blast it with some air. Look at this. Ugh. It's actually not that bad. It's not as bad as I thought it would be. It's quite a thick core too. Pretty huge. Bit of contact cleaner in there just to get any oily crap that's stuck in there out. Pour him out. There it goes. Blast it with some air.
So I just pulled off these lights that Marty wanted gone for good reason. So I'm just taping up the wires now. They're not going to anything, but I just pulled off this little piece of tape, 1 inch of it. And underneath, I just wanted to show you how this was installed. So that's obviously called a twist and tape, but I believe it's only been twisted twice around. So there are a number of different ways that you can twist and tape effectively. There's heaps of YouTube videos and articles and stuff on that, so you can have a look. Alternatively, get a soldering iron. They're really, really cheap. They're really effective. It's a really good skill to have because you can fix all sorts of stuff around your house, from toys to basic electronics and, of course, car stuff as well. Ryobi make a really good one that's a portable one that we've been using for years. It comes with a little station. You can adjust the heat, different attachments and stuff for it. That is a way that people do things, but not you, because you're a Mighty Car Mods viewer and you want to do it the right way, which is why you don't do it this way. You do it the good way, don't you? Yes. Martin, while we're doing these pipes, let's see what we get in our intake.
Intake box.
Daihatsu Copen LAL880KJBDET.
Love some numbers, don't they?
All right, so we actually get...
Where does that go?
Look at this thing, dude.
Oh, cool. Oh, wow. Does that go...
Oh,
they must go through here, dude. Somehow.
And then we got some...
Comes with a lot of
silicons. Look at that. It's like a heat shield.
That's cool.
Look at that.
That's a nice bit of gear right there.
And then this here is our little mini mushroom.
Wow.
And it is mini.
Oh, I get it. It bolts on the back of there. Love it. There's some brackets for this thing too that I don't know where they go.
This is going to sound so good, dude. Look at that.
Oh, I see. Then these go on here. Man, this is some nicely made stuff.
I'm going to straight up say it, there's no free lunch with air intakes. If it flows better, it probably doesn't filter as well, and it's going to be louder. Which for some weird beards out there, that may be a bad thing, but is actually the #1 reason I'd change an air filter. The sound. It's like putting a trumpet up your turbo. It lets the whistles out loud and proud, and as a bonus, you might pick up a bit of power, but only if the original intake was a restriction. This one reuses the air intake sensor and also comes with this awesome fabricated intake pipe that connects the filter to the turbo.
My understanding is there's a lot of people out there that really enjoy this process. That is a really nice piece of kit. Bit of folded steel that sort of sits up under there and protects it from water and liquid ingress, as they say. Compare this to the kit we got for the Suzuki Swift. Does anyone remember that? That was not great.
All right, we're waiting on a couple of bits and pieces that we are not expecting to get today. So they are overnight parts delivery from
Campbelltown.
Campbelltown.
And Wollongong.
So anyway, as soon as they arrive, we'll be back into it. But there's a whole lot of work done in a pretty short amount of time, and that's the cool thing about little cars like this. The parts work. The HKS stuff was all really good, not sponsored. It's just stuff that we actually bought, but fit great. Coilovers are in, intercooler piping's on, little front mount, cleaned up, which is nice. And so, yeah, we'll wait for these other bits and pieces, and then we'll crack back into it. I can't wait to go for a drive in it, because that's going to sound
I want to hear it.
amazing and be almost as fast as the Up GTI.
And if you do buy quality parts, the time save is usually where you get your money back, because it doesn't take 3 weeks to get something to work. You don't have to work it all out yourself. You just chuck it in and enjoy it, which is what we'll be doing soon.